Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. I know that you knew that because it's the Virgo channel, right? I always feel like a little odd to say. Anyway, on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play as karmic themes to help you understand why you're attracting this person into your life, why they're doing what they're doing. What are the imbalances within the situation? What do you need to learn from the connection? Because that is how we transcend the limitations of our mind. We attracted this person into our mind many times because of a spiritual block that we have, that we're not aware of that block. Now, the block plays out in our outer world within the discord within the relationship. So, again, the readings are healing, and they're healing because a lot of times we don't want to be connected to a karmic. Karmic keeps us bound to a lower energy, a lower frequency, and it can do that because the same experiences continue to loop. It's like the same experiences over and over to the point that even when you're out of that relationship, you can attract someone that has the same behaviorisms and the same karmic themes continue to play out, really making you perceive that you're less than, that you're inadequate, that you're not good enough. Because again, we're down here to learn that we're not separate from love. The energy of the universe is unconditional love. The energy when we're at our purest form, the energy that our God-given energy is the energy of the universe, which is love, because there is no separation from us and the universe. We have the sun and the stars and the moon inside of us. And though it's hard to perceive, it's a consciousness, and that consciousness is all knowing. We get in our own way, we block ourselves from traumas, experiences as a way to protect ourselves. We're not aware. But the problem is the habits and the behaviorisms that we formed to create balance a lot of times is what are going to be what sabotages us in our later relationships. Like we may still be dealing with people the way that we dealt with our parents, meaning, again, if we have inner child wounds where we need to really heal and integrate. So the readings, again, are a three-part, but know that you are the alchemist of your life. You always have free will. All right. We're going to jump in, and I never know why I say what I say in the beginning of a reading. I always let spirit guide, and a lot of times the energy resonates with the reading. We'll see if it does today. Now, anything of any importance of Revelistic Channel you can find in the description box, including the word of the video. Word of the video is the energy, underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. All right, we're going to see, and that word is exquisite. You know, again, I'm feeling it, and I felt this the other day, maybe it was a week or two ago, that all eyes are on you. That Virgo, whatever it is that you're doing, you're drawing a lot of attention to yourself. And the thing is, you're doing it in silence. It's like you're very protective, almost like a mother to like their baby, like you're about to birth something and people know it. People are starting to see the little sparks of it. People are starting to connect the dots to what you've been doing. And the thing is, a lot of people undervalued you. A lot of people, because they never saw the entire picture. And so they were always seeing you or meeting you out of contents that they never really formed the right opinion about you. So they didn't treat you respectfully. But the irony is that spirit always protects us. The universe protects us from people that we shouldn't trust if we are in alignment with our true self, our higher self, that we're in alignment with the universe, and the universe will always step in to protect us. It was so because we're in the energy of love. in alignment. So, like I said, I feel like you never swayed from your path. And that path really is a co-creation experience where you and the divine are creating. So you're lost in what you're doing. It's where we lose time and space. It's how we give and receive of love. It's when we're in our passion for life, doing what we love. It's we're shining. We're exquisite. We're exquisite. Why did I use that word? Well, it's not just because I pulled that card, but it's because it's different. It didn't say perfect. I said exquisite, like you're unique, you're one of a kind. There is no one like you. No one has ever met anyone like you before. Like some people get very triggered from you, again, because it brings out all their shadows. Because the people that are on a lower vibration are going to get triggered. They're going to get triggered because they can't manipulate you. And they can't manipulate you because you and the spirit and the universe are co-creating together. You're protected. You're in the light. You have a shield around you. And that's what it is when you again are on your path. Feel like this person again felt your sensitivity. They felt, oh, this person's like, again, is going to be a giver. They're going to be a lover. See how they go out of their way. And I feel like you're someone that's really a service person. Like you meet someone, you tap into their energy, and you do automatically do what you feel is needed for that person. You don't need to be asked. So you're a real giver. You have your heart open, that means. And so here it is, you're different and you're a giver. And but again, this person, I feel like they didn't give you the time. They didn't give you the time, but they're gonna play it, and they've always played it with you because I feel like you did say something to them. I feel like you walked away from this person, but before you walked away from this person, you told them that you weren't going to be the victim to them. You saw that they weren't going to give you any energy, but I feel like they tried playing the victim to you. Like, no, that's not true. I have to work but meanwhile, they're talking to like 1,000 other people on Instagram, like insignificant connections, but giving you nothing, like keeping you on the side, almost putting you on layaway. That's the energy, but really they're going to play the victim to why the relationship played out the way that it did. When really, again, they were tactlessness, where I feel like, again, they were talking to other people and they were in very addictive energy. Like I feel like someone drinks a lot. And when they drink a lot, that's when they are fooling around with a lot of different people and it just not really caring about anything except for like feeding their passions and really just being selfish. So, really, again, now they're in a place where they were manic, and I feel like there was always manic energy there too, because this person was never trustworthy. That's what you felt. Almost like when a person is strategizing all the time, and they're lying a lot and you can't keep up with all the lies, so you just never felt like at ease with the person. You always felt like they were trying to get over. They were always trying, and the reason why is because they were, and you're an empath. So empathy, like this person was focused on what they perceived were the weaker qualities of an empath, which is someone that's a giver, someone that's a lover, someone that's going to be vulnerable, someone that's maybe even a little bit emotionally needy because they're not getting passion from a person. They only identified passion with a person. They weren't realizing that the other part of an empath is a creator, someone that loses themselves in what they love, the passion for life. Again, and the universe wants you to again display your glory through your passion for life. That's how you match the energy of the universe, and that's how you elevate into the highest state of consciousness of unconditional love. And that is what people see. And it's again because it's really a co-creation with the universe. It's like you're not driving the bus. You're letting the universe take over because that means you don't really know what things are going to look like. You just have faith that somehow they're going to turn out. So again, that seems flaky to a person that's a narcissist, a person that's very logical and analytical. That seems like like you're crazy. That seems like, oh, like you're not having reality. I don't like what your life looks like. That's a person that's judging you. And so I feel like they were always manic, thinking, again, trying to get over on you, hoping intuitively that you wouldn't pick up, but also thinking that you were stupid, that you wouldn't, or naive, I should say, because again, that's another empath trait that, again, you'd be a little naive. And so, but you could feel there, the manic is really the bipolar energy of this person really not being balanced, living more by their addictions and their lower energies. So, the hostility is mainly because this person really does feel some sort of grief and they don't want to. They also don't want to take the blame, but they feel powerless in this situation. And they're not used to feeling the feelings of sorrow, but they didn't want to look at the fact that they abandoned you. Now they have a place again of anxiety and worry, which is pushing them into a place of being manic, which we can see that bipolar energy. As this person doesn't want to feel guilt, and because now they doubt quite highly that you're not going to even want to be with them. But the problem is they can't help but to be stuck in a place of nostalgia. They really thought that you were going to remain the same, like attached to them, where you got tired. You were like, the mistrust ruined the intimacy. The mistrust ruined that, you know, in order to have an attachment, you have to have an emotional connection. The person had to be transparent. They had to make you feel safe. You don't need this person because you are in your exquisite energy. You are co-creating with the universe, and the universe is driving the bus to your destination of success. So you are in the passion for life. It's again, and all eyes are on you. You again see things from a higher perception where you're seeing that this person is full of shit, that like you can't trust them. So that ruined the intimacy. They are not on the same vibration. And that's what they don't get. It's like because you don't need them. It's again because money has no energy except for the energy that you give it. So abundance is you're in alignment with abundance. So that means other opportunities. That means everything, all the gifts that the universe has to offer because you're being true to yourself. And so again, this person would like to, if they're going to come in, they're going to come in like all hopeless, not pretending that they weren't stubborn the entire time because of their pride, their ego. They rather like try to trigger you to make you jealous. But this person is always stuck in a place of shame because of their selfishness, and they wind up lonely and in a place of imbalance. Because they always leave people in a place of disappointment, regardless of the spiritual connection. It's their insecurity, is what Spirit's saying. So we look and see what are they doing now? Because we don't even say, I could say, okay, let's pull like two cards from this. It's again, this person keeping your life upside down and them knowing that you would have expectations and trying to keep you stuck in a place of resentment because they're unfair, which again, we didn't really need to read those, but to look at your triggers, that's what they were, to deal with them. Where they are now, they're in a place of like being with the people that are going to conform to them, like, which is they don't want to give anything. They don't really want to, they want to be in a bunch of superficial connections. It's more about, again, people giving to them because they can't give to themselves. That's why you're giving to yourself. That is so appealing to this person because all they see is, I could be with you and I don't have to give anything. But look how much you'd give to me because your cup is full. So again, but they don't realize that being with someone that the cup is full is always going to trigger them to be jealous. They already have a tendency to try and make you jealous. So it's like it makes them jealous and self-sabotage because they're not on a high vibration. So again, being with someone that can do it for themselves, this person would expect you to do it for them. And that's, you know, no, because that takes away from you and what the divine has in store for you, and that you don't have to do that. And so again, this person would want to be at the authority. Again, that's what it's about, needing to be with people that are going to conform to their will because they want to be seen as the authority. So understand. But they're manic because they're like, they know that they've run out of time. They see that you're not coming back. And it's again, they're burdened by it because again, they wanted this to be a karmic contract. Its karmic contract might have been that you again were in a past life karmic contract with this person, but in this life, you've broken that contract because of the trust, because they kept this in a state of imbalance for so long, which was they were trying to keep you in a place of fear and dominate you with sex. But that wasn't like you were feeding yourself with passion, being exquisite, co-creating with the universe. So sex is limited because sex without love is limited. It's lust. And it doesn't compare to the energy that you're in. And that's what this person doesn't understand. Because again, they perceived you to be somebody else. They really thought that they were going to be able to come in and manipulate you. But you and the divine are actually co-creating together. That's why all eyes are on you. You're displaying your glory where everyone's like, wow, exquisiteness is like rarity. It's beautiful. It's on such a high vibration that people like, even if they're like, well, that's not really even my style, they're gonna say, but that's different, but that's authentic, but that's real. It's but understand most people are saying, wow, that's exquisite. Like a fine piece of jewelry, right? Like when you pick up a jewel and you're like, wow, that's just exquisite. Like that's you shining. And so that's pissing this person off. It's making them manic because they've lost control where they thought they were going to be able to come in and control and dominate and do it through sex because that's normally what they do. They come on in it like they come on with all this passion, and you're intolerant to that nonsense. You're like, I see right through it. I see right through it. But we can see why they're manic. Again, this person was hoping that you would see this as a divine union. It's like, but you just saw that it's not. It's a karmic mate. So again, in the beginning, there is a lot of passion. There's a lot of unspoken like needs though, and needs that this person has that pushed it into a deep confusion where it's again wanting you to become vulnerable, wanting you to talk, but all it really did was reveal their wounds, really. Again, their secrets, their desire for you, because again, passion is not the same thing as love. This person, again, was confused. They were confused between love and passion. They don't understand why they don't have good relationships, and that's because they only go so deep. It's all about control, it's all about making sure that they're elevated. And really, I mean, if we say, what are they going to do? I don't really see them doing anything except for, again, no, because they have trauma. And it's the family trauma. That's where it came. So it's old trauma, very old trauma. So being with a person it would feel empty. And it's because they haven't created themselves. They're stuck in the trauma where they feel inadequate So all they would do is try and make you jealous all the time if you were going to be with them. That's their game. That's the way that they try to control. They're lazy. So it's easier for them to manipulate, keeping the person in a place of stress, projecting their fears. So until they heal their inner child, there is absolutely no balance and a connection. And that's what Spirit's saying. It's like it would be next to impossible. Like it would look like they come in, they have passion, the next day they're cheating. The next day they're triggering you, or even maybe even the same night or same day, you'd find them talking to somebody else. It's all about the dominance. It's all about this intermittent manipulation where they come in and out of your life, where it really creates brain damage because it stresses you out. But the thing is, they couldn't get you because you had such a high vibration, which is like all their energy, because they were doing this so much that it almost looked like witchcraft. Like, oh, that person was putting a spell on you. It's not witchcraft. It's that how do you manifest through the thoughts that you think? But because you are on such a high vibration, all that energy that was given out to you is actually ricocheting back to them, which is why they're feeling manic, which is why they are like they need to change strategy, which is why they're impatient, which is why, again, they're losing control, and that's the way that the universe is taking them down. So Spirit says you have to understand why you attracted this person into your life, because we don't see them doing anything. They're just spiraling out of control, and trying to fill themselves with like people, but people that are just as empty as them because they're not giving anything, unfortunately, but they're not in the light. So they're innocent victims as well. But that's what this person gets off on. That's how they steal the energy. Because then obviously the person goes yelling, hey, what did you do? I thought we were in a relationship. And then this person's like, oh, look how much they love me. Oh, look again. So keep staying in a low vibration, but their self-image and their ego is satisfied, because they can give off that persona. They can lie to themselves. And that's why they don't like the way that this ended. That's why they're stuck in the energy. Again, card number one, confusion. Inner child, moon cards, water, optimism, self-sabotage, source. Well, see that? And play. So what spirit is saying is that when you were a child, again, that the way that you grew up, it was very confusing to you because parents are supposed to be loving and supportive and, encourage. And I feel like whatever you really set out to do, like play, you always told, nah, don't waste your time with that. Why are you wasting your time with that? Don't be friends with this person. Don't, like, there was so much interference that you began not to trust yourself. And so there was a sense that you allowed this person to self-sabotage you, is what you felt. You were like, this person self-sabotaged me. Where really, Spirit says, no, you allowed that person to self-sabotage you. You knew who they were because you always had a connection to source. You always were intuitive, but you were always a little too optimistic about people. And it interfered with, again, your unique individuality. The second chakra is all about who you perceive you are, your unique individuality that is where, again, the passion for life, it's in alignment with the passion for life. It's our birthing center. What are you going to birth? What are you going to create within the world? Not just produce a baby, but actually the full manifestation that we become ourselves. The second chakra is again, represents our passion for life, but that's part of who we perceive that we are when we're feeding it. But you weren't allowed to do that. So you weren't allowed to go out and play because that's how a person finds that. Be like childlike. Instead, you were told again that your ideas weren't good. You were told, to put your focus on, schoolwork, and maybe you were a horrible student, so you just kept experiencing failure over failure over failure over failure. And so you began to live your life as if you were a failure. So again, you live traumatized. And when you're traumatized, you're walking through life daydreaming. So this is why they say that God protects the stupid and the blind. It's really because, when you are living in an environment where you're told that you have to continuously be something that you're not, you think that there's something wrong with you. When you try to do as everybody else does. You're an empath. You do things your own unique way. Empaths a lot of times do have learning disabilities because again, they have stronger psychic abilities. So the perception is that there's something wrong. Part of being the empath, they have to persevere through the perceptions of the environment, society. That's why empaths break the norm. That's why they're exquisite, because they don't do as other people do. This person had a connection, a true connection, and they're really seeing who you are now. But, they're not willing to do what it would take to match your energy. Again, this is someone that still thinks that they can strategize, and you'll always have that because that is what you grew up with. The only difference is the way that you deal with the situation as you heal and evolve. It doesn't trigger you. You don't react to it anymore. You're not offended by it anymore. You spot it before you actually even give the person energy. It's again seeing yourself differently by going through the experience and handling it differently, where before people in your environment tended to sabotage your opportunity. But really, you were always the giver and the doer, and this is what this person thought. Again, oh, the empath, the lover, the doer, they're going to do this, but that's not what you did. You again stayed in your energy. Again, you went with the flow, regardless of what this person was doing, and everybody else was doing in your environment. You were again being guided with spirit. Spirit was guiding you. You were again in the flow of the universe because you were in the energy of love by doing what you love where again connecting to people on such a deep intimate level. You were emotionally getting taken care of, so it's easy for you to be optimistic when source is carrying you. So understand, source says, well, I was also carrying you through the pain and the trials and the tribulations of it growing up in such confusion, of feeling like you were inadequate, feeling like there was something wrong with you, feeling like where really your path is different from other people's paths. So again, only you can self-sabotage yourself by believing that someone has some power over you. Spirit says no one has the power over you. You have spiritual sovereignty, and that is where you again merge with the divine. So, whatever negative energy people put out to you, they have to really be careful because it's going to ricochet right on back to themselves. And, that's their karma, is what Spirit's saying. You get to see yourself differently, you get to see the situation differently, and that's the transmutation. That's the transmutation of the negative energy, is what Spirit is saying. And the Spirit says, oh, it's about going into the unknown. It's like leave behind what no longer serves you. That's why you went through this experience. And Spirit says, open your heart to the new, where true growth occurs. So it's all about Spirit saying, like, whoever you perceive that you were is not who you are. Now you realize who you are. But there's so many different layers of who you are. There's so many different versions of who you are. Is go out into the world. You find yourself through your passions, through the people that you meet, through the things that stir up your soul, to the things that guide you. that this is a path that spirit is again guiding you because you have limitless potential and people see that. They wanted to keep you in a place of again of limitation because you don't do things the way that people do them, where spirit says you're not going to, because only God makes a way where there is no way just for you. And you intuitively are guided by this. This is not a logical, analytical thing, but all these people are logically and analytically looking at you as a child. And now this person fell for that also, and they began to look at you that way, where now they're seeing you as a different person and they almost feel like you betrayed them, this person, where you didn't betray them. God just protected you. Again, to live, now you get to live your best life. The only limits are the ones you impose on yourself. Again, that's what spirit is saying. And that's what it was. That was a curse in childhood where people put those limiting beliefs onto you about your capabilities, and then you began to walk from that consciousness and self-sabotage yourself. But really, spirit says the empath has limited potential, but they have to go into the unknown. They have to be willing because you're not going to heal yourself in the same place that made you sick, right? And spirit says, and don't beat yourself up and say, hey, I'm not there yet. I didn't get enough money. There's not enough money. I don't like the way things look. Spirit says, acknowledge what you have already overcome in your life, and go with conviction into the future. You're an empowered soul. Spirit says, but there's nothing stopping you from creating your own heaven on earth. Again, not even the people in your environment. Even if they think that they can outsmart you, they can't because the universe is protecting you, is guiding you. So understand you may feel like a lot of negative energy thrown at you. So take a salt bath, cleanse yourself, be around people that love you. Again, source will bring you other things that also emotionally create that fulfillment so that you don't feel whatever the toxic energy is. You want to stay on a high vibration. And we leave off with one more message, which is you are the light. Always have hope, no matter the ordeal. So again, whatever people throw at you, whatever this person tries to do, have faith in a better future. Again, not the same future. You turn your darkness into light. Open your heart to others and to God and become spiritually strong. Draw light to you and shine with all your being. So Spirit says there is no separation between you and your creator. You are the universe. You're not here by mistake, but you're here by God's grand design that you have purpose. And when you are living your bliss and living your purpose, you are fully protected. And this is what people didn't see in your childhood. And this is definitely what this person did not see. But you had to go through this experience to clear your inner child wounds because mainly you're not around those people anymore that made you feel that way. But that wound was still there. That energetic vibration of which is the emotion was still on your subconscious mind, which was making you a magnet for people to think less than you, because again, that's how they elevated themselves, where really they're more in an energy of logic and analytical and not the creative mind. And the creative mind is always a super genius mind. It transcends the limitations of the ego. And that's why these people are suffering. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.